Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 6, yes, the season finale. Oh, yes. And this episode was a doozy, and by a doozy, I mean a doozy. Because there's a lot of stuff to cover. First off, we have Sam Wilson as Captain America. Oh, yes! Now, in the previous episode, if you remember, Isaiah said, and I quote, "No self-respecting black man would ever be Captain America, nor should he ever want to be." Yet here we have a supposed self-respecting black man deciding to be Captain America. Now, how did he come across that decision? We don't know, nor will we ever. We'll see. He gave a very confusing speech later on, and we will talk about his confusing speech because there's a lot to cover. But first, he has to go to New York along with Bucky and Sharon Carter and defeat the Flag Smashers, who are planning to and succeed in kidnapping all of the representatives of the GRC, that is the Global Repatriation Council. They are getting ready to vote on relocating 20 million refugees. Oh! These people are bad, apparently. That is what we are supposed to think about them. But later on, they explain the situation, and it starts to make a little bit more sense. Okay, we'll get into that later. John Walker joins in the fight. Yes, he is motivated by revenge. He wants to get revenge on the Flag Smasher. I believe it was Kari who killed his best friend ever. Yes. And he comes in, he starts kicking butt, and everybody's kicking butt, but unfortunately they're too busy kicking butt to realize the actual situation, which is the fact that all of the GRC representatives have been kidnapped. Oh, yes. And I was saying, Sam, stop fighting this little guy. He doesn't matter. You have bigger issues. Ooh. Yes, it turns out that turns out to be the case, that it was all a distraction. Yes, Kari has figured out how to defeat people by just giving them things to do, keep them busy. That seems to be the strategy here. Yes, Kari has revealed how evil she really is. Oh. She says that we might even have to kill all of the GRC in order to stop the vote. This almost lost the confidence of her partners in crime. Yes, all of the other Flag Smashers were not really down for killing all these people, but Kari has convinced them otherwise. Ooh. So Kari is not a good person. Let's keep this tally here. This will go up and down. It's always going up and down. Kari is fighting for the people, the downtrodden, the poor, the hungry, the needy. So it keeps going up and up and up. She's a good person. Then she says, we have to kill everybody. Oh, then that means that her reputation is plummeted. She's not a good person. No. Yes. there's a lot going on in this episode, which makes it hard to follow and confusing. John Walker has redemption. He has to make the decision, should I go after Kari, or should I save the lives of the senators who are about to plummet to their deaths? He decides to save the senators that are part of the GRC, but still he decides this is a good decision. I will save lives rather than take them. So he has redeemed himself. John Walker is no longer a bad person. Oh yes. So what does this mean? So the good people, those are the revolutionaries, the flag smashers, are now bad. John Walker, who was bad, is now good. Sam, who seems to be aligned with the flag smashers, does that make him bad? Ooh, I don't know. This is what makes this show so terrible, okay? It's okay to have complicated villains who believe that they are doing something good but are actually evil, as long as we have somebody to root for. Here, we have nobody to root for. The reputation of John Walker has already been soiled in my heart. I hate him, but now he has redeemed himself, but I don't want to like him anyways. So, in my heart, I am still rooting against John Walker. The flag smashers, they seem to be fighting for a good cause, but they keep talking about killing innocent people. Oh no, so I cannot in good conscience root for the flag smashers either. I would like to root for Sam Wilson, but he seems pretty aligned with the flag smashers, which means he is complacent in the killing of innocent people. So I cannot cheer for Sam Wilson either. Bucky, I guess I could cheer for him, yes, but he doesn't seem to be a pinnacle distributing factor in this story. Therefore, cheering for Bucky is kind of a waste of time. Oh yes. So who do I cheer for? Who am I invested in? I don't care about anybody in the series. Therefore, I'm not invested. I am bored and confused. That's why the series is so bad. I have to put that out there right away. Now, we also have Sharon Carter. She is helping, but is she really? It turns out that Sharon Carter is the power broker the whole time. Remember, power broker was on the villain island. I don't care what it's called because I already forget. It's not important. Maybe it's very important. It's really random. It doesn't make any sense. Why is there a place with villains, a refuge for villains? I don't know why. They don't explain it very well. They're copying John Wick, I believe. They are just copying John Wick, but they are not using the same world building techniques as John Wick. John Wick was able to build a world. That is emphasis on the word build. Building takes time. It takes effort. This series is not building. Building! Just build it! And I want to see you build it! Here it is already constructed and I am not invested in the story. I'm just like, so there's a place with villains? Shut up! Tell me why! Oh, you're not gonna tell me why? Then I don't care about your stupid story. Anyways, it turns out that this place I don't care about is run by Sharon Carter. How did Sharon Carter become the power broker in such a short amount of time? They do not explain it. They're not building this world. Therefore, I don't care. Oh no! just saying, oh, it just exists and it's always existed. But why? And how long? And what's going on? There's too many questions. I am made of questions, and I do not have time to ask all of the questions. But I will ask many more before this video is up because I'm so confused. Anyways, Sharon Carter, it turns out that she is also very evil. This doesn't make any sense. I did a quick review of Sharon Carter's biography based on many different storylines in the Captain America Marvel universe throughout comics. She has never actually been a real villain before. She has in times worked with the Red Skull, but only to defeat Nazis. Therefore, she has always been a good guy, even when she collaborates with other bad guys. It's always for the good cause in the end. Now we find out that she is just pure evil. She even gets pardoned and gets reinstated in the CIA, and she did it with the purpose of leaking state secrets and selling weapons. So yeah, she is just pure evil. Why? What is this all about? It turns out that nobody actually won in the end. Stupid. Now let's get into the speech. The speech! Yes! Now, this is a speech that Sam Wilson gave at the end. She gave this speech to the GRC. He's telling them how bad they are. The GRC refers to the Flag Smashers as a terrorist organization. Now, Sam Wilson, he says, you should not talk about them as terrorists. You should not use the label terrorist to describe them. And here is a quote. Yes, a real quote. I wrote it down just to make sure I got it right. Sam Wilson is talking about the GRC's peacekeeping initiative, or is there peacekeepers who are working on relocating people. He says, and I quote, I wrote it down directly so I didn't misquote it. Your peacekeeping troops are carrying weapons and forcing people into settlements around the world. So he uses this as an argument saying that what are these people going to think about you? They might think that you are a terrorist organization. Now, I think this is different. Kari was literally using terror to sway the vote and to force governments to do what she believes is correct. Now, these peacekeeping troops are not actually causing terror. No, just because they are carrying weapons does not mean that they are causing terror. We have historical facts about this as well. After wartime, the military might go in and help rebuild a country. These military people are carrying weapons, yet they are not causing terror. And because we do not get to see these peacekeeping troops, we do not get to see if they are causing terror or not. Now remember, and I will reference this many, many times, this is a visual medium. Film is a visual medium. Whether it's TV or it's a movie, it is a visual medium. Therefore, if you do not show it, it never happened. You cannot just talk about it. You have to show it. So Sam Wilson is claiming these peacekeeping troops are causing terror. Now, you did not show it, so it's as if it never happened. So we can assume that Sam Wilson is probably lying or exaggerating. So, yes, the GRC are not terrorists because we do not see them causing terror in order to get their way. Same thing, these peacekeeping troops, we do not see them causing terror, therefore they are not terrorists, they cannot be labeled as such. Yet Kari has kidnapped, and I see it, they kidnap all of the GRC representatives to keep them from voting and sway them, otherwise that is terror. And therefore they are terrorists by definition. Sam Wilson is advocating on behalf of terrorists. I never saw Steve Rogers do this, nor John Walker. Therefore, Sam Wilson is the worst Captain America. He is advocating for terror and advocating on behalf of terrorists. Yes. Okay. Now, he asks, the GRC asks, should the government support these settlements? Sam Walker says yes. That means Sam Walker is advocating on behalf of big government. Sam Walker wants big government, okay? Now that is not the American way. That is not what America was founded on. That is not what Steve Rogers was fighting for. This makes me so mad. Steve Rogers, the whole point of Civil War was the fact that Steve Rogers would not sign the superhero accord because he did not want the government to have control over what battles he fights. He didn't want to become an agent of the government. He wanted to do his thing, okay? Now that means that Steve Rogers was advocating for smaller government. That is the American way. America was established on the concept of small government. Let people do what they want to do. The government should not have a say in what people do. And the fact that Sam Walker wants the government to fund these settlements and pay for them and pay for food and health care and all these things. He wants the government to be in charge. He wants the government to have more power. Sam Walker is advocating for bigger government. That is not the American way. That is not what Steve Rogers would have asked for, fought for. Yes. So Sam Wilson is not my Captain America. Now, Sam Wilson, he says another thing that is very confusing. He's talking about labels such as terrorist, refugee, thug, criminal, things like this. He says that labels, and I quote, I wrote the quote so I don't misquote it. He says labels are used to get around the question why. That's literally the quote, but he does not tell you what the question is. He says that labels are used to get around the question. What question, Sam? Please tell me, what question are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying. And this is this whole speech is confusing. It's full of a lot of half thoughts, half ideas, incomplete sentences, sentence fragments, and I don't understand what you're saying, Sam. Please tell me. see, they claim that Sam, and rightfully so, Sam does not understand the situation. Sam says, good, it's a good thing not to know how complicated the situation is. What? Sam, you're stupid! Get out of here! You're not my Captain America! Now, Sam says, he says, we now have a common struggle. Okay, now, this is Communist Propaganda 101. The struggle is used in communist propaganda all the time. Struggle in the communist sense means it's used as a way as a purification almost. So when people struggle, society will collapse, and out of the ashes of the former society is this communist utopia. That is the theory of communism. Sam Wilson says that there is a struggle. We finally have our struggle. Yes, he says this is a good thing. Yes, good thing. We have a common struggle. And so that means that he is hoping for society to collapse, and in the ashes of our collapsed society, that the communist rule will emerge. That is, now, this is a theory. Take this as opinion when I talk about communist propaganda, but literally, that's what this seems like. Okay, let's move on. Here's another quote. Okay, on the same subject, he says, now we have a common struggle. All the people who have been begging, and I mean literally begging you to know or to feel how hard everyday life is. Now you know. No, they don't, Sam. I'm sorry. So Sam is saying that the struggle of dealing with complicated situations and making difficult choices as to what to do with the refugee crisis is the same as people who are starving. I don't think so, Sam. You're stupid. Get out of here. You're not my Captain America. Stop making stupid arguments like this. You don't make any sense. Now, this goes into more. Show us. Okay, Sam Wilson is talking about how difficult it is to be a black man as Captain America. He says that people are judging him, that people are going to hate him for being Captain America. Now, I have not seen a single person say anything negative about him being Captain America. He says, alright, now I am feeling the stares. I am feeling the hatred. Now this is another case of show us. This is a visual medium. You are literally filming this and showing me visually, but you are not showing me the racism. And it's very easy to show racism. All you have to do is show a single person, and he has to just say something racist, like, why is Captain America black? Ugh, I don't like Captain America being a black man. That's all you have to do, but you didn't show me anything, therefore I have to assume that Sam Wilson is just complaining about nothing. He is making up problems, okay? I did not see anything racist happening here in this entire series. The only thing that you can argue was when the cops showed up when Sam and Fuck You were getting into an argument. Now, that is all you can claim to be racist. racism. Throughout the entire series, I did not see any racism. I just saw people talking about it, but you did not show it, therefore, I have to assume that it never happened. Show me, please. Yes. Now, Kari, she died. Yes. So, why did Kari die? She did not die for the cause. Here's the thing. We actually see Sam Wilson as Captain America being misinformed and spreading false information because he was misinformed. Therefore, we cannot actually trust anything Sam Wilson says as Captain America or just anything Sam Wilson says in general because he is being misinformed and spreading misinformation. For instance, Kari died because she betrayed the power broker, which was Sharon Carter. And so Sharon Carter killed her because she betrayed her. Sam Wilson tells everybody, because Sam Wilson does not know that Sharon Carter is the power broker. Sam Wilson doesn't actually know the real reason why Kari died. But Sam Wilson says that Kari died because of what she believed in. Sam Wilson believes that Kari is a martyr, right? And he is spreading misinformation because Kari died because she was in cahoots with the power broker and then betrayed the power broker by stealing the super serum and running away with it. Yes, that is why Kari died. It is not because she is a martyr, okay? She did not die as a martyr. She died because that's what she had coming to her when she betrayed the power broker. Now, Sam Wilson, he tells everybody that Kari died because she was trying to stop this vote, because the vote to relocate 20 million refugees. She was trying to stop the vote for this because it is immoral. Yes, that is a lie. She died because she betrayed somebody who was even worse than her. So she is not a martyr. But Sam Wilson is spreading misinformation. Yes. Now, he even says, you need to do the right thing. He's talking to the GRC. He says, you need to do the right thing because if you don't, Kari 2.0 will come and you don't want to see Kari 2.0. Ooh, what is this? Is this Sam Wilson scaring, using terror to convince the GRC to do what he wants them to do? I believe yes, I see it. They showed it on TV. I can see it. This is a visual medium, remember? If you can't see it, it doesn't happen. If you do see it, it definitely happened. I see Sam Wilson dressed as Captain America using terror, threatening the GRC to do what he wants them to do. He says, do the right thing. And according to Sam Wilson, the right thing is whatever he wants them to do. Sam Wilson is a terrorist. That means that the new Captain America is a terrorist. Captain America, this is not my Captain America. I'm sorry. Sam Wilson, you can just die. I hate you not because you're black, but because you are crazy, because you are insane. You are spreading communist propaganda. Yes. I hate you, Sam Wilson. You are not my Captain America. Now, let's go to the wrap-up of the episode. We had a lot of loose strings to wrap up. Yes, now... we have Bucky. He is finally apologizing to Yuki for killing his son. Now, I know that this is unintentional, and there was a couple of unintentional, heavy political things going on here, social political issues. Now, I'll explain this. So, he goes to Yuki's house and he says, basically, I'm sorry. The Winter Soldier killed your son, and the Winter Soldier is me. Therefore, I killed your son. And then he says, bye, and he leaves. And then he crosses that off his book, and he says, wow. He doesn't say it, but it seems like it. He's like, wow, took a load off of my chest. Wow, I'm so glad that I did that. Thank you, Yuki, for being understanding. Now he just walks off scot-free. Yes, now, normally you would watch this and be like, I guess that's okay. But, just a week ago, the verdict came out on the George Floyd trials. And we see that Derek Chauvin was convicted, guilty on all accounts, and that seems to be the status, the public status, according to public opinion, what should happen every time a white man kills a person of color in execution style murder. It was definitely murder. When you look at Bucky Barnes, what was it? It was murder. He intended to kill Yuki's son, right? Yet Bucky, he walks away, and he has been pardoned. So this is not good optics right now. Okay, I think everybody might feel bad about this, looking at this and being, this does not look right. I think the public opinion at the moment is that Bucky should be guilty on all charges. Because that seems to be the thing that's trending everywhere. Guilty on all charges. Therefore, Bucky should go to jail for killing Yuki's son. Yes. But he doesn't. In fact, now that he has confessed to Yuki and apologized, I guess saying I'm sorry is enough of an apology? I don't know. I would think that maybe there'd be some more retributions, something. Some sort of financial compensation plus jail time on top of that. I think Yuki would feel good about that. But instead he just says, I'm sorry, and then he checks it off his book. Now he is done with his court-ordered therapy. Everything is done, yes. I don't think so. It doesn't look good. Another bad timing, coincidental thing happening in the show is the unintentional references to January 6th. I know that the show was written and filmed before January 6th, so any references to January 6th, and I'm talking about the riots on Capitol Hill, are completely unintentional. Yet here we have a group of government officials, they call them senators, are voting. They are having a very controversial vote. And these people who claim not to be a terrorist organization, they break in and kidnap all of these senators and threaten them with their lives in order to sway the vote and stop the vote. Now, how is this any different from the January 6th Capitol riots that were, the intention was to stop or sway the votes on that day? Now, everybody has agreed has been public consensus that the people involved in the January 6th riot are to be labeled terrorists. Yes, everybody agrees. Yet Sam Wilson, as Captain America, says these people are not terrorists. Sam Wilson is in favor of terrorism. Yes, he has shown it multiple times that he supports it. Sam Wilson, you are not my Captain America. Say it louder! Say it louder! Sam Wilson, you are not my Captain America! Please get out of here! Also, where did he get his Captain America outfit? That does not make any sense. I understand he got his new flight suit from the Wakandans, yes, and you know, it's pretty good. It works better than any other flight suit. It's pretty nifty and it looks cool. But his costume, where did he get it? Where did he get the Captain America costume? That did not come from the Wakandans, yes. I do not believe it did. Also, the costume looks ridiculous. I'm just saying, it looks ridiculous. This is the issue with translating comic books to the big screen. Now, a lot of the costumes have changed from the comics to the big screen. You notice that with Scarlet Witch. The costume for Scarlet Witch in the comic books looks completely different than the costume for Scarlet Witch in the movies. And the same thing with the X-Men. The X-Men all have ridiculous costumes, and in the movies they toned them down because they would look ridiculous in the movies. Nobody could take them seriously. Now Sam Wilson's Captain America costume looks ridiculous. It's the worst costume I've seen in the MCU so far. This is a case of translating from comic book illustration to the real world directly. Yes, it does not work that way. You need to modify it for the real world. Anyways, that's just a personal opinion. Now we have Sharon Carter, who is the power broker, the worst person ever, right? She has been pardoned and been reinstated into the CIA. And she is now using her position in the CIA to sell state secrets and weapons. She's a bad person. Oh no, I hate this show. So who do I root for in the end? Oh, also John Walker, I said that he has been pardoned, or not pardoned, he has not been pardoned, but he has redeemed himself in the public eye. Yes, maybe not in the eye of the public within the cinematic universe, but in the audience's eyes, he has redeemed himself. Now, I feel like the showrunners wanted him to be racist, right? Yet they give us multiple opportunities to show that he is not racist. Number one, his best friend is black, and he treats him equally and actually treats him better than anybody else and seeks revenge for his death. Okay, this is not just like his, his partner. This is his real life best friend in the whole wide world. So there we have to take, when it comes to him being racist, we have to take that down a notch because he does have a best friend that's black. Also, his wife, who I question, why is she even a character? She doesn't contribute anything to the series. Yet she keeps showing up. And why does she keep showing up? I believe it is to display that John Walker has a black wife. Therefore, John Walker can't be racist because he married a black woman. Yes. So, John Walker, he's redeemed himself in the eyes of the audience because he has shown selfless acts in order to save innocent people instead of taking revenge. He has multiple friends and a wife, a close relationship. His closest relationships are with black people, therefore he's not actually racist. So I am confused. Am I supposed to hate John Walker in the end or not? I don't think so. Yes, he's also working for Val. Is Val a good person or a bad person? We don't know. Zemo kills all of the super soldiers. All of the Flag Smasher super soldiers. So Zemo, is he a good guy or a bad guy? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know who to root for. Therefore, this show sucks. I hate it. Now, I think that's about it. We've covered everything. I told you that the show was a doozy. A doozy. Yes. Now let me rate Falcon and the Winter Soldier. How would I rate it? I would rate it 2 floating heads out of 10. Why 2? Why not 1? Why not 0? The fight choreography was really cool. The way that Sam Wilson was able to use his wings in the fights against superhumans and able to stand his ground, it was pretty cool and I really liked it. So it does have some redeeming factors. The story sucks, it's very boring and it doesn't make any sense. The character motivations don't make any sense. I don't know who to root for. There are no good guys. So it just sucks. I hate this show. So yes, 2 floating heads out of 10. I hope that you like it. If you want to fight me on my opinions, please do so in the comments below. I would love to fight you. Yes. Now that we have finished, I will finally be able to review something else. If you want me to review something else, please tell me what you want. I love to talk about movies and TV. So until next time, goodbye my friends from Earth. Goodbye.